Welcome, everybody. How's everyone doing this morning? Okie doke. So I had a special request from one of our online students, Mr.Bill, who asked for Cosmic Dancer. So do we have any other special requests today?
Some type of pigeon?
Sure. So we'll get a little bit into the hips and the quads. Let's start on our backs to begin then. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, sliding the heels in towards the body. If that feels a little too intense of a stretch for your first posture to begin in, just take the legs and extend them straight instead. Close the eyes, just start to settle in. Let your body relax and be heavy. Allow your breath to deepen and lengthen as you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Noticing the rise and fall of the belly, the expansion and contraction happening through the rib cage, and the very subtle movement up and down through the collarbone area as you come to that full, complete three-part yogic breath. And perhaps the Ujjay Breath is a part of your practice, and you can bring that in as well, constricting the glottis to narrow the airway just slightly, starting to hear the whisper of the syllable so as you inhale, hum as you exhale. Take a moment here in this place of stillness to scan the body, check in with how you are feeling this morning. What do you need from today's practice? What brought you onto your mat? Checking in on every level. And then take a moment here and just set an intention for your practice. On your next inhale, just let your knees float together, setting the soles of the feet on the floor, heels close to the buttocks. Just extend the arms to a T and take a deep breath in. Let both knees fall to the right as you look to the left. And if you like, you can pick the left leg up and just rest it on top of the right, or just keep the foot behind the right foot to have a less intense stretch. Try to keep both sides of the chest facing up towards the ceiling above you as your hips turn to the right and your head turns to the left. And on your inhale, let your head and your knees rise back through center. And then as you exhale, just simply change sides. And as the legs come to the left, maybe you're just sliding that right leg up on top of the left or keeping it right where it landed. Head is turned to the right. Breathe here. Good. In your next inhale, let your head and your knees come up. Walk the feet in close to the body, heels in line with the sitting bones, and then slide the arms in tight to the sides, palms pressing down to the ground. Tucking the tailbone, flattening that low back to the mat. Try to keep the back of the neck long now as well as you inhale up into your bridge. Exhale to lower slowly with control. Inhaling to lift the hips. Exhaling to lower down slowly. Inhale to lift the hips and hold there at the top. Press into your palms, press into your feet. Keep the tailbone in that slightly tucked position, pushing your heart towards your chin. Continue to breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. Good. Take another inhale. Rise high on the toes. Send the arms to a T. And as you exhale, lower the upper back, the mid back, the low back. Drawing the knees into the chest. Reach for the knees with the hands and just rock from side to side. Massaging right across your back. Maybe you're coming so far over to the side that your elbows helping to push you back through center, over to the other side. Good. Let yourself roll all the way to the right. Push into your left palm and your right elbow and make your way up through seated. And as you come to seated, sit comfortably cross-legged. Stacking your shoulders over your hips. Your ears over your shoulders. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Hands can be on the knees. The thighs are resting in the lap. Let the eyes close. Pull the chin slightly back towards your throat. Take another full breath in, and as you exhale, let that right ear just melt over towards that right shoulder. Lengthening the left side of the neck. Maybe taking it a little further, left hand comes down to the ground just beside the hip, and then start to walk those fingers away from you, deepening the stretch. Maybe staying here, taking it even further, right arm coming out to a T, palm facing the ceiling, and then bending at the elbow. Reach across for the left side of the head, either just above the head or the hand cups over the ear. Don't pull, though, on your head. Just allow the weight of your arm to deepen the stretch for you. And as you lift the heart away from the navel and the navel away from the pubic bone, crawl those left fingers maybe just a tiny bit further. Good. Deep breath comes in. If that right arm is up, exhale and release it down, back to the lap or the knee, and then inhale, lift the head up, and bring the left hand back through. Take another inhale, really lengthening through the crown, and now this time melt your left ear over towards your left shoulder. Shoulders remain level with each other, relaxed and down away from the ears, and then we can deepen the stretch, right hand to the floor next to you. Walk those fingers out to the right. Feeling that stretch deepen through the right side of the neck, maybe into the right shoulder and down the arm. That last place to take it, left arm like a wing, palm up, bending at the elbow, reaching across for the right side of the head. Gently resting the hand there as you relax the arm. The weight of it deepens the stretch. Can you walk those right fingers just a tiny bit further out to the right? Last deep breath comes in, head stays there as you exhale. The left arm just relaxes down if you brought it up. Inhale, let your head and your right arm come back to where they started. Good. On your next inhale, just start to lift the chin, turning your face slowly up towards the ceiling above you, relaxing the jaw as much as necessary. Even if you have to separate the lips and the teeth to keep the jaw relaxed, do so. Excuse me. Shoulders stay relaxed and down away from the ears. Make sure the neck stays long. Stretch open that throat. How far back can you let the head go? Good. Inhale, lift the head up slowly. Exhale, melt the chin down toward the chest. Try not to let the shoulders follow the chin forward. Try to maintain that squeeze between the shoulder blades. Now we can take the stretch a little further, interlacing the fingers, taking the hands, resting them on the back of the head, starting to relax the arms slowly. Breathe. Good. Take another full breath in, and as you exhale, relax the arms down. Inhale and lift the head up. Make your way into table pose. So come to stand on your hands and on your knees. Shoulders over the wrists. Hips or sitting bones over top of the knees. Shins parallel to one another as well as you push the floor away from you. On your next inhale, start to tip the tailbone up as you lift the chin and open the throat. As you exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, rounding out your back. Inhaling back into cow, make that U shape with your spine. And exhale up slowly into cat. And just continue to move at the measure of your breath. We're all going to be moving at a slightly different pace. Maybe you can even move with your eyes closed. Keep gripping your mat with all 10 of those fingerprints, distributing the weight evenly across both your palms. Waking up your spine. Good. Let's inhale into cow one more time. Exhale slowly up into your cat. Take your time to finish, sliding the knees back when you do, just a couple inches as you tuck your toes under. Prepare to come up to your first downward dog. So when you're ready, start to lift the knees, lift the hips, push the chest gently back. Maybe you're walking the heels up and down. Maybe you're moving the hips around. Maybe you're moving the head. What feels good this morning to stretch this out just a little bit? Keep pressing the floor away from you through both those hands, pulling the shoulders up and back away from those ears. See if you can find a place of stillness in the posture now. Big toes a little closer together than the inner heels, so the feet are parallel to each other. Walk your hands slowly back towards your feet. Letting the heels settle, making sure the big toes are still turned in just slightly. Let your whole upper body hang as you bend the knees. Let your arms just dangle. And if you have the urge to reach for something and you absolutely can't help it, reach for your elbows instead of the floor so that you can completely relax your torso, your arms, your neck, your head. Give the head a little shake as though you were motioning no. And bring it through center and nod a yes. And then relax and just let that head hang. Pressing firmly through the feet, can you lift your hips gently up and away from those heels? Take your arms around behind your back, clasping your hands as you squeeze those shoulder blades together, working towards straightening out the arms as best you can, and then the arms start to pull away from the back. Opening up the chest, stretching out the shoulders. Beautiful. Take one more inhale, stretch the arms just a bit further, and as you exhale, relax the arms all the way back down. Opening your hands to a shoulder distance width, looking back at your feet, start to slowly walk those hands forward. Eventually the palms will be able to settle. Keep looking back. Keep walking those hands up slowly, and when it feels as though you're back in your correct down dog, just check to make sure that your hands are level with each other before relaxing your head back down. Take another full breath in, and as you exhale, set your knees down and untuck your toes. Inhale, send your right leg straight back and your left arm forward in front of you for spinal balance. Try to keep that left arm as best you can alongside that left ear while pulling the shoulder back and down away from the ear. Push out through that right heel, spread your toes. Take another inhale, stretch the arm and the leg a little longer. As you exhale, lower your left hand down, bring it in line with your left knee, and pivot and plant your right foot directly behind that left foot. So rise to the right fingerprints, and if you need a little kickstand for a little balance support, slide that left foot just back behind you, and when you're ready, take your right hand to your right hip. Roll that right shoulder back. And as you float your right arm now up towards the ceiling above you, maybe you can look out to the right or even up to the thumb. Your left hand, your left knee, and your right foot all make a straight line. Turning your right palm forward, start to take that arm slowly over the ears. You pull both shoulders down, away from the ears. Keeping that palm facing the floor, try to keep the arm as straight as you can. Press through that left hand as you push the floor away, and on the inhale, let that right arm float back up. As you exhale, look down, lower the hand and the knee down, and bring your hands back to shoulder distance width. So widen those hands. The space between your thumbs should fit both of your feet there in between them, so make the hands nice and wide. Let's inhale into cow and hold it. Press the heart forward. Lift the chin, send the crown of the head back towards that tailbone behind your back. And take one last inhale here. As you exhale, start to reverse and come up into cat. Tucking the tail, tucking the chin, rounding out. Good. Inhale, neutral table, big toes together. Sit the hips back to the heels. Relax down into child's pose and breathe here. Just giving those wrists and arms a little break. Time to recuperate so that you have strength for the other side, not causing any discomfort in those wrists, those shoulders. Good. When you're ready, send the arms forward, pull yourself up into your table. Shoulders over wrists. Thighs parallel, shins parallel. Press firmly through those hands, and on an inhale, left leg back and right arm forward. As you bring that right arm up, try to let it come right up alongside the ear. Look down to the floor though. Try not to lift the chin and look forward. Drop the chin, pull it up towards the throat. Pull that right shoulder back and down. Keep pushing the floor away from you through that left hand, gripping with those left fingers. Good. Take another inhale, stretch it out a little longer as you exhale. Start to bring the right hand down, bring it in line with your right knee, and now pivot and plant your left foot directly behind your right foot. So line up your right hand, your right knee, and your left foot. If you need the kickstand, right foot slides back behind you. Look at that right thumb, and when you're ready, left hand to left hip. Roll that left shoulder back, and then float your left arm up towards the ceiling. Maybe you can look out to the left, maybe even up to that thumb, turning your palm forward, start to extend and reach the arm over the ear without lifting the shoulder up towards it. Keep spiraling your chest, open to the left, firmly rooting that left foot. Breathe deeply. Press down through that right hand. Wait for the inhale. Left arm floats up as you exhale. Look down. Lower the hand down. Lower the knee down. Widen your palms back to shoulder distance. Inhale into your cow. Press the heart forward. Make sure the space between your thumbs could accommodate both feet. One last inhale in your cow as you exhale. Tuck the tail, tuck the chin, rounding out the back. Press the center of your spine up towards the ceiling above you. Try to keep your wrist creases parallel with the top edge of your mat. And come back to a neutral table, big toes together. Take your knees to the edges of your mat and let your hips melt towards your heels. Once those hips have come down, relax to your elbows, your forearms. Let your head just hang and be heavy as you observe those hips. Maybe you know right away, actually, I can take my knees wider apart. So your forearms are supporting you on the floor in front of you. Maybe those knees can slide further apart as you push your hips back towards your heels. Using the arms for leverage to really help push those hips back. Try to let the head just go now. Let it hang. Opening up the inner thighs, muscles deep within the groin. Giving those hands, arms, wrists a little break. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin away from the chest. Slowly transition from your forearms. Now lift the elbows, walk your hands towards you. Bring your knees through center. Bring your hands back to the top of your mat, tucking your toes under. Take yourself up and back to downward facing dog once again. Press the inner edges of the feet down. Make sure that your toes can be pulled up away from the floor. You can spread them out and then relax the toes back down. Try not to let your toes be taking all of the weight. If necessary, you can always walk the feet in a tiny bit closer or bend the knees a little more. So the space between your thumbs could accommodate your feet. We're going to take the feet there now. So inhale up on the toes, bend the knees, looking forward, and just start to walk your feet forward to your hands. Come up to a flat back as you inhale, long spine, gaze out in front of you, and as you exhale, fold your chest toward your thighs. Inhale again, come up halfway, look out in front of you as you lengthen, and then fold as you exhale, hinge from the hips. Last time, inhale, come up, look forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now take a grip on your legs. Pull yourself gently down. Uttanasana, our standing forward bend. Breathe here. Try to let your toes take just as much weight as your heels. Shoulders away from the ears. Good. Now we release the grip on those legs. Fingertips down to the ground, fingerprints, I should say. Take a step back with your left foot. Walk your right foot a little closer to your right hand now and start to really wiggle that left foot back, bending deeply into your right knee so that your knee is over your ankle. How far back can you wiggle that left foot? So you're on your back toes here. Wiggle that left foot back, back, back. Now set your left knee down and untuck your left toes. Lift the chest away from the front thigh. Keep dropping your hips forward and down. Pressing through your fingerprints now on an inhale. Let those arms float all the way up as you look up. Melt your hips down towards the ground. Shoulders come down away from the ears. Take another inhale. Really extend it back. And as you exhale, release the fingers down. Curl the left toes under, pick up the left knee, big step forward with the left foot, and fold over those legs. And as the hands come to the floor on either side of the feet, take a big step back now with the right foot, wiggle it back as far as it'll go, keep wiggling it back. Walk that left foot closer to the left hand. Lowering now to your right knee, untucking your right toes. Melt your hips forward and downward. The heels of your hands in line with the heel of your left foot. Now on your next inhale, start to float the arms up as you look up, lifting the chin. Try to drop those hips forward. Again, opening up that right hip flexor. Try to keep that left knee directly over top of that left ankle. Take another inhale, reach up, release, stretch back, and as you exhale, let the arms come down, fingerprints grip, curl the right toes, pick up the right knee, and then take a step or a couple steps forward with the right foot, folding over your legs, chin tucked in, back of the neck is long as you breathe. Good, let's plant both palms flat on the mat, step back to plank pose, the top of a push-up, shoulders over the wrists, and if you need a modification, once those feet are back as far as they'll go, the knees can lightly touch down. So you want to make sure that if you're taking the modified plank, that the knees are far enough back that you're not actually in table, because if you're in table, it's going to be very hard to lower down to the ground. Now the tailbone is tucked, the low belly is lifted. Push the floor away from you through those hands. Bring your shoulders over your first set of knuckles, and then inhale, look slightly forward. Exhale, lower shoulders and hips at the same time. Untuck the toes as you lift through the back of the head. Make sure your fingers are behind your shoulders as you come up into Bhujangasana, our cobra. Hug your elbows into the sides. Lift those kneecaps away from the ground. So the hands are back behind the tops of the shoulders here, using your back muscles to pull yourself up rather than the strength of the arms. So it should be quite easy to lift those hands. Good, setting them back down, push into the palms, inhale just a little higher, and then lower your forehead, tuck your toes, inhale, press back up to plank, and then hips to the sky, downward dog, and breathe. As you push the chest back and press the heels down, continually working on lengthening the arms, the spine. Good, inhale, high on the toes, bend the knees and look forward, and as you exhale, bring your feet to your hands. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up and circle the arms up. Palms come together, exhale, hands to the heart. So with the big toes touching and a little space between the heels, bend the knees, sit those hips down low. Reach down towards the feet. Pull the belly in, and as you inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. As you look up, point that tailbone just slightly down. Maybe you're looking up to a point on the ceiling. Maybe you're looking right up between those hands. Try to straighten your arms. Continue to squeeze those knees and those thighs together. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, look forward, and take a side bend over to your right, holding. Keep that chest turned straight ahead, hips as well. Hug the upper arms in towards the side of the head. Keeping the shoulders down, away from the ears. Inhale to center. Keep the arms straight and lean to your left. Keep that left shoulder forward. Keep those hips pointing forward. On the inhale, come back up. Separating the hands to shoulder distance. Let's inhale, lift the chin and look up. And now push the hips forward as you lean back, reaching behind you with those hands. Keep lifting the heart towards the ceiling above you. On the inhale, come all the way up, soften the knees, reach forward now, and fold all the way down. Inhale to a flat back. Separate your feet hip distance width. Grab your big toes, first 2 fingers and thumbs. Now inhale, look out in front of you, lengthening the spine. As you exhale, start to pull your torso down. Using the strength of the arms, flare those elbows out to the sides. Hands pulling up on the toes with the same intensity that the toes are pushing into those fingers. It's like your hands and feet are playing a game of tug of war. Both are strong. Good. As you inhale, look forward and lengthen. As you exhale, set the palms on your mat, shoulder distance apart, and step back to plank, modified or regular from the toes. Find your edge. Puff up the upper back a little bit as you push the floor away. Keep the shoulders coming forward as you inhale, look forward, and lower shoulders and hips at the same time. Now untuck the toes, lift through the back of the head. Make sure your hands are back behind the shoulders as you pull up. Pull your heart forward. Stretch your toes back behind you. Little squeeze there between the shoulder blades. Heavy across the tops of your feet. Push into the hands, inhale just a bit higher. Exhale, lower the chest, chin, nose, then forehead. Tuck the toes. Inhale to plank. Exhale, press up and back to downward dog. And breathe. Good. On your inhale, rise to the toes, soften the knees, look forward, and as you exhale, bring your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, come up to a flat back to lengthen. And as you exhale, fold over those legs. Inhale, circle the arms up and look up. Bring your palms together, exhale your hands to your heart. Bring your hands to your hips. Big toes together, a little space between your heels. Start to bend your knees. And as you bend your knees and you squeeze your thighs together, tuck the tail just slightly, come onto the ball of your left foot. Try to keep your thighs next to one another. So as much as you can bend that right knee now, see if you can now draw your left heel towards your left buttock. Keeping that right leg bent deeply, tail tucked. Some of you might even reach with your left hand and grab onto the top of your left foot or the front of your left ankle. Maybe you're just going to keep your hand at your hip and just draw the heel towards the buttock, balancing on that right foot. Keep that bend in that right knee. If you've got a hold of your left foot and you're feeling fairly steady, maybe you're starting to straighten the right leg. Thigh remains next to thigh. So we're going to have lots of different options of where we can take this posture. Maybe the right arm can float up alongside the ear. Some of you might be able to start pulling your left foot even higher up behind you, pushing the foot into the hand as you lift the foot. Find your edge here. Now, if you've pulled the foot up behind you, start to bring the left leg back next to the right. Start to bend that right knee again. Thigh next to thigh, right hand to right hip. Release the hold of the foot if you've got it. Left foot to the floor, straighten the legs. Separate the feet a little bit so you can just walk in place, relaxing, breathing. Settle into both feet, relax the arms at the sides as you close the eyes. Mentally preparing to do the same thing on the other side. So the hands come to the hips, feet walk back together. So now we start to bend the knees, almost like you were sitting into that imaginary chair. Tuck the tail, pull the low belly in. Come on to the right toes. Keeping thigh next to thigh as best you can. Maybe those right toes stay on the floor. Maybe you can draw your heel towards your buttock. Maybe you can reach for the foot with the right hand, catching that bind. Thigh stays next to thigh, belly pulled in. So we can stay here with the bend in the left knee. Some of you may be working towards straightening the left leg. Don't lock it out, though. Maybe the left arm is floating up. Maybe you're starting to pull that right foot up behind you. Find your edge. Find that place in the pose that you can hold, you can breathe. Challenged, but not past that point of comfortable discomfort where you're moving into that realm of pain. If you're pulling the foot up behind you, start to bring your thighs together again. If you've straightened the left leg, start to rebend the knee. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Start to release that right foot back down. Straightening both legs now as you separate the feet a little bit, walking in place. And then standing in Tadasana, mountain pose, relax the arms down, roll the palms open, close the eyes. Good. As you inhale, open the eyes, circle the arms up, look up. Turn your palms out, swan dive forward, lead with the chest. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, lower slowly down. Forehead to the floor as you untuck the toes. Clasp your hands behind your back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, extend the knuckles towards the heels. Now inhale, send the chin forward, lift through the back of the head. Know that if you find with clasped hands this is way too much, arms can come out more like jet airplane wings, palms down instead. If you want to take it further, the option is there to lift the legs as well. Make sure you can still breathe. Taking one last inhale, can you come up just a bit higher and then release down? Forehead down, hands beside the chest. Press yourself up slowly to the hands and the knees and sink back into child's pose. Moving from extension into flexion, just allowing that back to round gently. Reaching those hands forward, pull yourself up to table. Draw your right knee to the outside of your right wrist. Good, so try to bring it right up to the outer edge of your wrist and then start to walk your right foot towards your left hand. Those of you that know that pigeon traditionally in this manner might be a little too much for your knee, have the option to come down onto your back and thread the needle instead. So when you can't walk your right foot any closer to your left hand, rise to your fingerprints, curl your left toes under, start to walk the toes, knee back, knee back, toes back, knee back. How far back can you walk that left leg? And then look back and make sure that your ankle and your hip are still in line with each other, that left leg. Walk your hands back if you can. Lifting the chest up, hug everything into the midline, lengthening through the crown of the head. Flex your right foot a little bit, keep that leg active. Keep breathing deeply and slowly through your nose. Take another deep breath in as you exhale. Looking forward and down, start to release your forearms down to the ground in front of you. Try to have them parallel to each other. Gripping with the hands, pulling the heart through the upper arms, lifting the chin, looking forward, and then lifting your left knee off the ground. Close your eyes. Just here in this active position of the pose for a couple of breaths. Keep that right foot active and take one more inhale. Lower your left knee down. Relax your head down. Widen your elbows. Maybe you can lower your chest a bit further. Maybe stacking palms or fists, make a little pillow to rest the head on, and slowly, gently untuck your left toes. Point them straight back behind you and see if you can slide that left foot a little further away from you. Breathe deeply here. Breathing into that right hip and right buttock. As you inhale, start to lift the head. Start to press back up to the palms. Start to walk your hands towards you. Start to roll onto that right hip. Lean into your right hand. Let your left leg come all the way around. So if you're lying on your back from doing pigeon on the back, coming up to seated, we're going to start by pulling the right knee into the chest. Left leg extends straight out, and then just allow your knee to fall out to the side, but try not to pull the hip back any further. And as you push your foot to your leg and your leg to your foot, inhale, let your arms reach up. And as you exhale, lean your heart forward towards those left toes. Take a little grip, maybe the foot, the ankle, maybe the calf, maybe up closer to the knee. Now drawing that low belly in, creating a little more space to fold into, see if the heart can come a little further forward before you relax your head down. Check to make sure that your shoulders are level, and then close your eyes. Breathe here. In through the nose, out through the nose. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin. As you exhale, extend and reach the arms, and then inhale, come all the way up. Palms turn out as you circle the arms down. Bring your right knee up. Bring your left knee into your chest. Wrap the arms around the legs. Sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in, and then pull your chin toward your chest. Maybe the arms can wrap a little tighter if possible. Good. As you lift the chin away from the chest, reach your fingertips around for the backs of your thighs as you point your toes, balancing on the seat. See if the feet can float. Maybe toes come up to knee height, maybe eye level, maybe you're straightening the legs. Try to keep that nice tight V between the chest and the thighs, and then challenge your core strength. Can you extend the arms out? They become the sides of your boat. Keep lifting the heart. If you need those fingers there on the thighs, keep them there. Maybe you can do a little less work with those arms. Beautiful. Take one more inhale. Lift the toes just a bit higher. Exhale, release the legs down. Come into table pose. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Neutral table. Left knee to the outside of the left wrist. Otherwise, making your way to your back for pigeon on your back. Left foot crawling forward towards that right hand. When it can't crawl any further forward, rise to your fingerprints, tuck your right toes. Start to walk the knee back, then the toes back, then the knee, toes, knee, toes, knee, toes. How far back can you walk that right leg? Check to make sure that the ankle and the hip still are in line. Walk your hands back further if you can. Maybe a little closer to the shin, maybe back beside the leg, maybe all the way back beside those hips as you lift the heart, lift the chin, open the throat, keep a little flex to that left foot. Continue to breathe deeply and slowly through your nose. Hug everything into the midline and take one more inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, look down and release your forearms down to the ground in front of you. Gripping with your hands, pulling your heart forward, pulling your chin forward. Close your eyes and pick up your right knee. Keep flexing your left foot. Keep the shoulders relaxed and down, away from the ears. Try to continually work on lengthening your spine here. Take another full breath in, and as you exhale, lower your right knee. Keep the toes curled under. Relax your head. Start to widen those elbows. Maybe your chest can get a bit closer to the floor. Maybe your head rests on the floor. Maybe you're going to use your hands as a pillow, stacked flat, or as fists. Find the right height for the head to come to rest. And then slowly untuck your right toes. Point your toes straight back behind you. See if you can slide that right foot a little further back. Try not to let your toes turn to the left. Breathe into that left hip, that left buttock. On your next inhale, just start to lift the head and slowly transition back up to your palms, walking the hands towards you. Now we're going to lean into that left hip. Left hand comes out to the left so we can roll onto that hip and let that right leg slowly come around. And as that right leg extends out in front of you, just pull the left knee into the chest to start. Allowing that knee to fall out to the side, pushing your foot to your leg and your leg to your foot. Sit nice and tall. Inhale and the arms float up. And then fold over the leg, reaching across the room, eventually taking a grip, maybe at the foot, maybe the ankle, maybe the calf, maybe the knee. Now draw that low belly in, drag that heart a little further forward, level the shoulders out as you close your eyes, let your head just start to relax down. Keep pushing your foot to your leg and your leg to your foot, maintaining that engagement in the quad of that right leg. Feel that opening in that left hip as the knee comes down to the ground.
Lengthening the spine as you inhale, keep pulling the heart forward. Try to fold into that space you just found with every exhale. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin, and as you exhale, reach across the room. Inhale and come all the way up. Palms out as you circle the arms down. Good. Let's bring that left knee up. Bring the right knee in to join it. Wrap the arms around the legs and pull the chin toward the chest. Maybe the arms can wrap a little tighter. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin. As you exhale, release the grip on the legs. Bring your feet up to the top of your yoga mat. And slowly roll out onto your back. And as the head comes down, slide the legs together, point your toes, reach the arms over the head, and take a deep breath in. Stretch everything out. And exhale, the arms come down. Draw your knees to your chest. Hug them in. Just rock side to side a couple times. Good. As you roll back to center, go ahead and plant your feet on the floor, heels close to the buttocks, feet hip distance width apart. Arms hug the sides so that you're reaching with your fingers for your heels. Flattening your low back to the floor, tucking the chin when you're ready. Inhale, come up into Setu Bandhasana, our bridge pose. And as you lift your hips up, try to walk the hands a little closer to one another. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Push your chest towards your chin. Keep lifting your hips up as high as they'll go. Keep the head straight. Keep pressing down through the feet, the hands, the arms, the shoulders, the back of the head. Lift those hips. Good. On your next inhale, come up high on the toes. Take your arms to a T and just roll the back down slowly. Then the heels come down. Then the palms turn down to the ground. Arms remain at shoulder height. So arms are out to a T, palms are down. Inhale, pull your knees into your chest. So arms remain at a T, shoulders away from the ears. Take a full deep breath in and start to melt your legs to the right as you look to the left. See if you can hover your legs off the ground here. Flexing your feet, spreading your toes. Take one more inhale and exhale, set your feet down gently. Turn your palms up, maybe bring your hands a little lower, and encourage your shoulders down away from your ears. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply here in this twist. Cleansing, manipulating, massaging the visceral organs. So the deeper you breathe, the more the lungs expand, the more that diaphragm is pressing down into the viscera. Completing every exhale, belly pulling in a little bit further, manipulation for that low right side of your abdomen right now. Targeting the ascending colon. Good. Turning your palms back down to the ground as you flex your feet on an inhale. Let your head and your knees come up slowly. And now let your legs come to the left. Let your head turn to the right. Hover your legs. Squeeze your knees together. Don't let that right shoulder lift. Take one more deep breath in. And with the exhale, set your feet gently down. Turn your palms up. Slide those shoulders down away from the ears, close your eyes, and just breathe. Deeply and slowly.
In through the nose and out through the nose. Every inhale is full and every exhale is complete. Releasing tension, tightness, discomfort, toxins with every exhale. Good. Turning your palms back down to the ground, flexing your feet on an inhale. Let your head and your knees come up. Reach up for the knees with the hands, squeeze them in tightly. Draw the forehead or the chin up towards the knees, and maybe you can wrap the arms even more tightly around those legs. Starting to really squeeze yourself into a tight little ball. Take another inhale, hold that breath, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the face, scalp, arms, legs, everything, and then release the effort. Make your way into Shavasana. Heels to the corners of your mat. So we did some work in those hips today. Let's allow those hips a chance to relax. Maybe they feel a bit more open than usual. Turn your palms up to face the ceiling and tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. A little tuck to the chin creates a bit of extra length there at the back of the neck. Just let your whole body grow heavy. Release the effort to breathe deeply, the physical effort from the muscles. Try to let your whole body relax. Let the floor support you. Moving into that fifth limb of yoga known as Pratyahara, which means to withdraw the senses, focus the mind inwards. Let everything else go. Take rest. Relax. Let the breath come back in, a little slower, a little deeper. And start to bring some movement to your fingers, to your toes, to your wrists, to your ankles, letting your head turn from side to side. And then just allow the head to roll back to that center position as you slide your legs together and stretch your arms up over your head. Take one last deep breath in, stretch the body out, and then relax and let the arms come down to your sides. Let your knees float into your chest and just rock. Just a couple times from side to side. One last massage for the back. And when you're ready, roll over onto your right side. Pause here in this fetal position. Left palm pressing into the floor, right elbow helping from below to make your way slowly to seated with the eyes closed. And the ears stack over the shoulders, and the shoulders stack over the hips, and the palms come together, hands to the heart. Let your chin melt toward your chest. Thank yourself for this gift of yoga here at the start of your week. Send a silent thank you out to those who joined you. And I thank you for allowing me to share these teachings of yoga with you. As the chin comes back up and the crown of the head lengthens back towards the ceiling, repeating after me. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be well and at ease. And may I be filled with loving kindness. Hinging from your hips now, releasing your forehead towards the floor in front of you. Your hands can come down as support as you seal in your efforts and let them go at the same time. The divine light within me graciously acknowledges that same divine light within you. Namaste.